Well, Thanksgiving is just next week, meaning more traffic on the roads as drivers flock to their holiday celebrations.
It also means increased enforcement on area highways and roads. Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Joe McLean is in Jefferson City with more about what the Missouri State Highway Patrol is doing to keep the roads safe this holiday.
Don't drink and just remember to be safe out on the roads because the roads can be a very deadly place.
That's 11-year-old Gavin Holloway speaking to us last November. We're approaching 2 years since the death of his father and stepmom, Patrick and Chandrea Holloway. They died in a crash on Thanksgiving Day caused by speeding, impaired, and aggressive driving, according to the Highway Patrol. This tragedy is exactly why the state boosts traffic enforcement during periods around major holidays, especially Thanksgiving.
Every year we see just a huge number of vehicles on the roadway during Thanksgiving. Other holidays, it's different. 4th of July falls on a different day. Christmas falls on a different day. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. So it's a long weekend for everybody.
White said there are a lot of different reasons why holidays present a bigger problem on the roads. He said drivers are often in from out of town and less familiar with the roads. At the same time, native drivers who know the roads will often fail to anticipate a huge increase in traffic. Obviously, impaired driving and distracted driving are major factors in holidays as well. Reasons aside, though, White said even drivers who consider themselves to be responsible and safe have to account for others who are less so.
But really comes down to a mindset, just simply thinking that, you know what, this could happen to me, and I need to take every precaution to make sure it doesn't. And that means looking further down the roadway, making sure that you do put the phone down, and by far, the best thing you can do is wear that seatbelt.
A new state law also took effect in August in Missouri, which bans the use of handheld devices while driving, with fines to be imposed starting in January. In Jefferson City, Joe McLean, WGEM News.